this tradition I've studied is based on what I've learned from my teacher, a fellow named Zoltan Mason, who passed away at the age of 96. And he built on a tradition of a Frenchman named Morin de Villefranche, who initially was trained as a physician, and being unhappy with his contemporaries, who he thought were barbaric, left medicine, and at the age of about 30 started to study astrology. And his career culminated with the publication of something called Astrology Gallica, French astrology, which is a tome of 26 books, of which the 21st book is really the crown jewel, showing how to synthesize a horoscope. And it was this system that my teacher Zoltan Mason did teach. Now, one of the things that I mentioned is we have this very popular expression that is character is destiny. This is a very, very complicated question, debated for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But the quote implies that destiny is not predetermined outside force, but one's future or destiny is determined by one's own inner character. Or you could say it the other way: destiny is what you have received but free will is how you respond. But this word fate comes in. Fate means no escape. So just very quickly, we can't go into this too deeply, but you have three words: free will, destiny, and fate. Free will, as if you could exercise complete control. Fate means no escape. So, for example, no matter how you would pamper your body, one day it will turn to dust. It's fate. On the other hand, destiny is a very interesting word. Something can be destined to you, something can be sent to you, but you don't have to receive it. And a simple example is if you would be getting a headache, you can interfere by taking an aspirin. Okay, so we can interfere through the use of will, through the use of training. We can interfere with how something is received. Okay, so I just wanted to bring out this issue. And I would also suggest that you consider that a person has two sets of values. One would be inborn or intrinsic, which based on natal chart's constitution, and then those values that have been pushed on us by culture, society, or the community in which we have been born. Often this creates a problem for us. And so you may say the interaction with the outside world is, let's take it here, hold on. The interaction with the outside world is determined primarily by the character and personality of the ascendant. That is, how you receive the sky and how you respond to the sky. I can give you an example. When I first started to practice astrology, I was fortunate enough to secure for the evening a schoolhouse where school children were being taught. And the woman who owned the school had 4 children. There was the eldest boy, twins, and then a youngest boy. And she said, you know, could you explain to me why that my twin girls are so different? Then the older girl is going to be a veterinarian, and the younger girl, the younger twin, was a lead guitarist in a rock group. I set up the horoscopes, and the one that was going to be veterinary school had 28 degrees or so of Pisces on the ascendant, and the one who was the rock and roller had the first degrees of Aries. Therefore, basically born under the same sky, but how the sky was received. Therefore, how you receive the sky, how you respond to the sky, has a lot to do with the sign on the ascendant. Okay. So, This will be one of a couple of slides that I referred to a moment ago based on the talk that I gave in April. So the archetype is the 12 signs of the zodiac taken as a unit. It's a model. And the value is that it provides an insight into the relationship that exists between an individual, the world, and a higher creative force. Okay, and symbolically, it represents an ideal. Now, when you look at the archetype, what I have discussed at length was the angles 1, 10, 7, and 4. Basically, there are only 4 houses. The other 8 houses serve to interrelate the angles with the other goals, with the goals of those other angles. And the very basic idea is 1 and 7 come together through the social contract of marriage to build up a shared future and home. So 1 and 7 come together to build up 10 and 4. Now, I said this is a model, and it should not be interpreted that one size fits all, but it's a baseline. In a general way, in our day-to-day life, irrespective of the culture or the times, you have the idea that you take a partner and that together as a couple you build up a shared future and home. And this may be symbolized as an ongoing struggle to mature. Okay? Make note that the angles are comprised of 2 oppositions or 4 squares. How do we solve the struggle? And that is through the other 8 intermediary houses, which serve the purpose of helping the goal of a particular angle to accommodate and adjust to the goals of the others.